In Proverbs chapter 1, verse 5 says, "Let the wise listen and add to their learning." You know, as you examine your mistakes, well, you realize it was your thinking at the time that caused them. And that's why you need to keep challenging your own thinking. The scripture says, "Let the wise listen and add to their learning." How do you do that? Well, by learning to appreciate how others think and by continually exposing yourself to people who are different from you. You'll think like the people you spend the most time with. Now, when you spend time with people who think outside of the box, well, you're more likely to break new ground. And let's face it, anytime we find a way of thinking that works, our greatest temptation is to rely on that kind of thinking repeatedly, even if it doesn't work in new situations. When your goal is to protect the success you already enjoy, you actually put the brakes on the process that can lead you to even greater success. Holding on to a good tradition is a good thing, but you need to remember that every tradition was originally a good idea, perhaps even a revolutionary idea, but every tradition may not be a good idea for the future. When you cling to what's already in place, you resist change, even change for the better. And so that's why it's important to challenge your own thinking. If you're too attached to how things are done now, nothing will change for the better. John Maxwell writes and says this, "In your early years, you won't be as wrong as people think you are. In your latter years, you won't be as right as people think you are. And all through the years, you will be better than you thought you could be." So it is important for us to think appropriately and to think critically so that we don't get trapped in some tradition that may no longer have God's favor upon it. And so that's why you and I need to be careful too about who we get our thinking from and the people we spend time that influence our thinking. Is their thinking consistent with God's thinking? I'm Ray Jones, and that's another hard truth for your day.